What's up, Amazon sellers? If you are just starting out on Amazon and you have just got an email which says refund initiated for order, then this is the right video for you, because today we are talking about Amazon returns and I'm going to go through everything. What is an Amazon return, the way it works, the policy on it, what the hidden costs are, and what everyone else's return rate is, and obviously you can compare that yourself to see, are you doing better or maybe not so good. So stay tuned, we are going to go through all of that in this video. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I have quite simply been selling on Amazon now for 4 years, and I'm on a mission to do £1 million by the end of 2021, and I'll share a link up there to a step-by-step video that I talk about that journey and I document it and tell you exactly what I'm doing, and I give you updates on my profitability every 3 months. So watch that, obviously it's going to be really helpful in your Amazon journey. Now quite simply today we are talking about refunds, returns of customer orders on Amazon, and this is for FBA sellers, so how it works. I will go through step by step what the whole process is and what you need to know. So let's just clearly identify what I'm going to go through and then we can jump into the actual content. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go through Amazon's policy on return, and I'll just quickly go through and let you know what you need to know about that. Number 2, I'm going to explain what happens when a refund is initiated. Number 3, I'm going to explain what physically happens to your stock once that refund goes ahead. Number 4, I'm going to talk to you and show you with examples what are the hidden costs you need to be aware of when a refund happens. It's obviously going to affect your profitability. Number 5, I'm going to share with you what steps you need to follow once a refund's initiated, and also how to get your money back if it doesn't actually happen as planned. Number 6, I am going to talk about FBM, so if you're an FBM seller, what you need to know about that as well. Number 7, I'm going to talk about those returns that come back to you and that obviously you need to deal with because they are not ready to be resold as brand new. So top tips there. Okay, number 1, quite simply Amazon's return policy, and should be quite clear on understanding this because it's a big part of Amazon's customer experience and Amazon cares about the customer. So what do you need to know? Well, quite simply, Amazon states on its website it has a 30-day return policy. This is the same in the UK and in the US of A. Now, the one thing which I'm going to say is while it states it's 30 days, we have seen examples of Amazon customer services accepting returns not only within 1 year, but even up to 2 years after the date of the sale for items which they really shouldn't be accepting. So while they are 30 days, it is not uncommon to hear much longer time periods happening for Amazon returns. Just keep that in mind when you're buying and selling that stock. It can come back in a year, maybe 2 years later. Right, and number 2, what happens when a return is initiated? Well, quite simply, the customer is obviously going to request a return to return the item. What's going to happen for you? You are going to get an email which states quite simply, refund initiated for order, and that is going to be your warning or your alert to say that a product is going to come back because a customer has returned it. Now have a quick read of that. It's a generic email, but it's good just to read it once, and I would just say it's quite good to read the Amazon return policy at least once, just get a feel for what's actually happening. What I will say is stay to the end of this video. Why? Because quite simply, I'm going to share with you what FastTrackFBA users, their return rates are for all their stocks. And this is going to be super important because it's going to allow you to understand, is your return rate the same or is it higher or lower? And hey, maybe the products you're selling which aren't working out as well, you're getting really high returns, or maybe not and you're doing really well. So stay to the end because I will share that information with you. So number 3, what is going to happen to stock? Well, quite simply, by default, Amazon is going to inspect that stock when it comes in. Now, if you want to know how to change the default settings, I will do a screen share up here of where you need to go in Seller Central, which is about changing the furbished option in your FBA options. That's going to allow you to change what Amazon does with all your returns. Now, by default, Amazon is going to inspect that product and do what's known as furbish. Now this might be if the product's in really good condition, there's no problem with it, maybe it just needs taping down again, they will do that. That is what they're going to do to get that product back out on the shelves, selling as new. But if it isn't, if they can't furbish the product again, what they'll do is that will then fall into the unfillable inventory, and that's within your Seller Central. And that basically means that these items of stock have been returned or maybe damaged within the warehouse, that they've come back in from the customer, which are now unfillable. They cannot be sold, so they now need to be returned to you, the seller, obviously for doing whatever you want to do with, and we'll talk about that later. Now, number 4, the hidden cost of returns. So quite simply, what you're probably thinking is that, let's say for example, you sold an item and you sold it for $10, £10. When a refund or return gets initiated, you get that £10 back. Well, that's not exactly right. Within that £10 or that $10, there is a fee in there if you're doing FBA. That is called the FBA fee. That is the fee to ship it from you, or Amazon warehouses, to the customer. So quite simply, that FBA fee, which forms part of that £10 sale price, and obviously you pay on all your shipments, you don't get back when a refund is initiated. So everything else, the referral fee, closing fees, obviously any other products or fees, they all get refunded, or they get taken out of your account, should we say, because you originally got the money from the sale. But what you don't get taken out of the account or don't get refunded is that FBA fee shipping to the customer. You still have to pay that even though the customer's returning the item. If I show you an example up here, this is a product we sold, and right now this software is Seller Toolkit. I will share a video around here of an example of a product we sold. And now I will say this software is called Seller Toolkit. It's what I use for my profit analysis. And quite simply, this product here, you can see that it's been refunded. It had original cost of sales, I think, of $29.65. But I still have to pay the FBA fee of £3.81. So even though I've got my product back, and obviously I haven't made the sale, I still had to pay that initial FBA fee of £3.81. So just be very mindful, if you're getting a high return rate, it's going to impact profitability because you are having to pay to ship to the customer in the first place, which you don't get back when they do the refund. Now, not only do you not get that money back from the FBA fee, it also reflects in your back of house. So it's not refunds themselves in an individual case aren't a problem, but if you get an increasing amount of them, that's going to flag in your back of house, should we say in your seller metrics, because the products you're selling are having a high return rate. And also as well, you're most likely to see that in something else called the voice of the customer, whereby certain products get very high return rates. What does that lead to? Well, quite simply, Amazon starts closing listings down and it stops you from selling those items. So just be very mindful of products that are getting high return rates, because they are probably going to be shut down. They're probably going to be a problem. You really want to look at that listing to understand what is going on and keep your account metrics healthy. That is key to selling on Amazon. Okay, so you've had the refund initiated for order email come through, and now you're just waiting for that item to come back. What should actually happen to your stock? Well, the customer has got 45 days to get that product from them to Amazon, and obviously Amazon's going to check that in and go through the furbish process. Now, if Amazon doesn't receive that in 45 days, they say on the email that you originally received, they should bill the customer and refund you. Now, the one thing I just want to say is they don't say they will, definitely 100%. They say in most cases it should happen. They are giving themselves an out. And what does this mean? It means that certainly many times, and we've seen it many times, that actually the item doesn't get returned to Amazon. The credit doesn't get put back into your account, and as a result, you are losing money. Now, a lot of times Amazon will actually do the refund for you, but a lot of times it will not do the refund for you. So what happens here? Well, quite simply, you want something called stock reclaiming software, doing your reclaims, missing inventory. Stock reclaiming software is going to be really, really key to supporting you in getting the money back that you're owed. For me personally, I use Seller Toolkit. That is the profit analysis software, but also as well, it does my reclaims for me, and it's fantastic. And it just literally is a one small monthly fee. I'll drop a link up there to a video that I talk about and how to go through this whole process with Seller Toolkit. And obviously you can see that in action, making sure you get your money back. And in there as well, also, so I have a 14-day free trial that you can use. It's going to help you out just getting those reclaims, and you can go back in time, getting those reclaims for you or any stock that's gone missing. Okay, so that is pretty much it. You've had the email to say you've had a refund initiated for order, and obviously now you've either got the stock back in your inventory, it's gone out, or it's gone into your unfillable inventory, or maybe the stock hasn't come back. Maybe Amazon's refunded you, or you've had to actually go and get that stock refunded yourself using something like Seller Toolkit. Now, the next question you're probably asking is, hey, are my refund percentages, the number of orders I'm getting refunded, is that higher or lower than everyone else? What is good, what is bad? Do not worry, we asked FastTrackFBA users what their refund percentages were, and we're going to share those results with you now. So quite simply, we asked within the FastTrackFBA Facebook group, and this is a group of Amazon sellers predominantly using the FBA business model, and what they are doing is they are doing exactly the same business as me and you, arbitrage. And they've come back with the following results. I'll put them up here. And quite simply, we can see here from these results, the average is between about 2 to 3%. So that means 2 to 3% of all the stock that they've sold has been returned because of maybe the product was unwanted, maybe there's a problem with the product, we don't know. But on average, about 2 to 3% is about where most people are sitting. So if you are getting around that, fine, that's about normal. If you're getting under, great work. If you're getting over, maybe you might want to look at your product selection, maybe look at those products that are getting high return rate and stop stocking them and bring that refund rate back down. Now, a top tip for you, a lot of people do actually factor this into when they're doing the sourcing. They are adding in a small percentage for returns to understand that that is a part of doing business. So just keep that in mind whenever you are doing the sourcing. Some people add that in, i.e. add a small percentage of the product, the fee back in, maybe 2, 3%. Going to add into extra cost to factor that into your profit and loss calculations. Okay, so the next part I want to talk about is FBM. Now, what I need to say is if you are an FBM seller, you should be following Amazon's guidelines really closely, making sure you're sticking to them. Remember, Amazon cares about the customer. I will also add that I am not an FBM seller, so this is everything that I've taken from other sellers, not so much from my own personal experience. But the one thing which I generally say that you want to think about is if a customer is asking for a return, pretty much the majority of the time you want to accept that return, even if it is outside of the return limit. Why? Because quite simply, the last thing that you want to happen, and this does happen quite a lot if you're not accepting returns, is customers raising A to Z complaints. Now, A to Z complaints, well, they are a problem. If you have too many of them on your account, it really starts to affect your account metrics. And a common reason why these are raised is because sellers are not accepting returns by customers for reasons the customer wants to return the item. So top tip there is it's not really worth the hassle for an A to Z complaint. So just accept those returns, get them in. It's a cost of doing business. Yes, it's annoying, but keep those account metrics good, and obviously run a good business and just accept that, hey, returns are part and parcel of what we do. Customers buy things online and hey, maybe they don't want them. You just got to accept them back. So FBM, follow Amazon guidelines. That's going to really help you out there, and just make sure you're staying on the right side and protecting those account metrics. Okay, so final one you might be thinking about is, okay, so I've sold these items, the refund's been initiated and they've come back and they can't be furbished, they've come back into my unfillable inventory, what can I do? Well, quite simply, let's just give you some ideas now what you can do with that stock that's going to help you out, maybe getting some money back from what is a product that you can't sell anymore as new. So quite simply, a lot of Amazon sellers do this. They will resell them on eBay. They can do that. Maybe as new, maybe not as new. What also as well you can look at is selling them on Facebook Marketplace. Some people give products away for charity, or quite simply send them back into Amazon as used. If that's applicable for you in your product, you can maybe put them back through FBA as a used product, not as a new product. But there's a couple of top tips there that's going to help you maybe get a few or some extra money back from those products that maybe you can't sell back as brand new on Amazon FBA. Question for you guys, what do you do with your returns? How do you handle them? I'm interested to learn. Maybe you've got some top tips that you can share. Drop it in the comments down below. Let me know what you're doing with your returns. Okay, so that is pretty much everything from me. Hopefully you have enjoyed that content. Give me a big thumbs up. Let me know. Obviously that just lets me know that this is the kind of content you want to see. And what I'll say is hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Obviously you'll be notified when I release my next videos. And what I'll say is I'm going to drop a video around here of how to get reclaimed. So this is your money back from Amazon that you are owed. And it's a great bit of software that literally costs a tiny amount of money and it is worth every single penny. Have a look at that video. It's going to really help you in your business. But what I will say from me, Thomas Parkinson, and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.